Welcome to Manchester United Daily Updates. Before continuing this video, click the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest news from Manchester United. Manchester United have got it right with the 6 players they have let go. Liverpool are out of the FA Cup, Man City are all but out of the Champions League, and Man United have a clinical goalscorer. It rather typifies Manchester United that they have had their best week of the season without playing. Liverpool are out of the FA Cup. City are all but out of the Champions League. The youth team trounced Chelsea with a result that highlighted United do possess a natural goalscorer in Cheeto Obi. Liverpool also imploded at Goodison Park. United fans will have reveled in the schadenfreude after Jude Bellingham tapped in on Tuesday night, and 24 hours later, when James Tarkowski's Roy of the Rovers volley thudded against the Gladys Street net. Galatasaray, dreaded potential opposition in the Europa League last 16, were whipped by AZ Alkmaar too. Antony also continues to pull the wool over potential suitors' eyes. He has got 2 goals in 2 games for Real Betis. Some will use that as a stick to beat United with. The reality is Antony has found his level with a mid-table Spanish side in sunny Seville. His latest goal came in the Europa Conference League. Joe Hart's presence on the BBC is a reminder that punditry does not have to be about scripted soundbites to chase viral clips. It is worth imparting that advice to some of Hart's peers. Scott McTominay is playing like primetime Jude Bellingham, according to the 47-year-old Rio Ferdinand. Ferdinand did not talk like this when he captained United impeccably at the age of 29, but there is a fixation among some pundits to appeal to the TikTok crowd. McTominay has scored 7 goals for Napoli. This time last year, he had tallied 9 goals for United. Has he gone backwards? No, of course not. But it fits the narrative to frame it as a blunder by United to have sold him. 4 of McTominay's United goals last season came off the bench. He was an undeniable game-changer and, if used properly, was an asset as a starter. Erik ten Hag eventually realized McTominay's calling was as an attacking midfielder. Yet he was open to selling McTominay the summer before he left. A manager is entitled to change his mind, and Ten Hag did. He wanted to keep McTominay, but the financial realities were that United had to sell to buy, and a specialist defensive midfielder was essential. McTominay was the outgoing and Manuel Ugarte the incoming. Case Moreau was unsellable, so McTominay was the one who was always going to make way. If the words profitability and sustainability had not entered the English football lexicon, McTominay might still have been moved on. United miss McTominay's goal-getting noose, and he has as many goals as Rasmus Højlund this season. He would have been worth trialing as a striker last year. Jamie Carragher aims the same dig at Ruben Amorim and Ange Postecoglou. Jamie Carragher admits landing titles in Scotland or Portugal doesn't prepare you for managing in the Premier League. Ange Postecoglou and Ruben Amorim are both men under pressure as they prepare to face off this weekend. Manchester United will travel to Tottenham on Sunday as both sides look to address their poor form, which has them sat in the bottom half of the Premier League. Postecoglou is more than 18 months into his tenure with opinions divided on his spell, whilst Amorim's reign is very much in its infancy. Both individuals are struggling to implement their philosophies effectively, albeit injuries and a lack of players have been a factor. Amorim and Postecoglou claimed multiple honors at Sporting Lisbon and Celtic respectively, which Carragher insists shouldn't be shirked at, but he insists their dominance means the managers are often searching for answers in England that they never had to source in the past. He wrote in the Telegraph, Postecoglou and his Manchester United opponent this weekend, Ruben Amorim, faced the same issue because they built their reputation in a league where they can dominate the ball. I hate the idea of dismissing managers because they only won the Scottish or Portuguese league. If you excel in such countries, credit should be afforded. But with respect to Celtic and Sporting Lisbon, they never have to deal with so many fixtures in which they will suffer out of possession, and have to ready their players for those longer periods where they must focus on winning it back or stopping clever world-class attackers. Reading a game does not mean abandoning principles. Postecoglou and Amorim are fine coaches who deserve to be where they are. The question is how much they can evolve and compromise to make their sides more solid. That is where they are currently falling short. One of the most frequent misreadings of analysis of Postecoglou and Amorim is that such compromise means changing formations and ideals. Amorim needs European progression to save United's campaign. In all likelihood, Postecoglou needs it to keep his job. Tottenham have only won twice in the league since the beginning of December. United, meanwhile, who were beaten 3-0 by the North Londoners earlier in the year, have lost 7 of their last 11 games, including their last outing against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Manchester United FFP decision impact explained as Premier League make key move. It has been a particularly bruising time for Manchester United and co-owners Ineos recently, suffering significant competitive struggles in the Premier League under Ruben Amorim, and facing another season outside of the lucrative UEFA Champions League unless they find a way to win the Europa League. Off the pitch they have fared little better. Earlier this week saw the revelations emerge that Ineos and its chief Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who was handed football oversight when he purchased 27.7% of United from the controlling Glazer family back in December of 2023, were planning on making around 100 further redundancies at the football club, adding to the 250 jobs that went last year. The club informed shareholders last month that difficult decisions would have to be made to ensure that the club achieved compliance with the Premier League's Profit and Sustainability Rules, PSR, which were due to come to an end at the end of this season, the 2024-25 financial year. However, at a Premier League shareholders meeting in London on Thursday, it was decided that PSR would remain for at least another year, and that a move to a squad cost ratio method of financial control would be pushed back. The chief reason being that many owners felt it impossible to vote on any such rule changes while Manchester City still had a live legal case with the Premier League over associated party transactions, APT, that needed to reach a conclusion and a decision communicated on what would happen with that. No clubs breached PSR rules for 2023-24, and clubs had been working towards compliance for 2024-25, due to the fact that they could have faced punishments into next season were they to be found in breach during the current financial year. The addition of at least another year of the much-maligned PSR isn't hugely impactful for all clubs, with the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton and Hove Albion and Tottenham Hotspur all having major PSR capacity. The planned move to a squad cost ratio similar to that which UEFA have in place would limit clubs to spending 85% of their revenue on player wages, transfers and agents' fees, while another proposed measure to sit alongside SCR was anchoring, which would see the top team spending on player costs restricted to 5 times the amount the bottom club receives in TV and prize money on those player costs. PSR has looked at a 3-year rolling period, with clubs allowed to lose a maximum of £105 million over that period, with allowable deductions for investment into the academy, infrastructure, the women's team and community initiatives. Everton were hit with 2 separate breaches for 2021-22 and 2022-23 and docked a combined 8 points, while Nottingham Forest were landed with a 4-point deduction for a breach in 2022-23. For some clubs, United included, it has been a set of controls that has hampered plans in the transfer. Man United have just been handed ideal Marcus Rashford swap chance after transfer collapse. Despite the £25 million arrival of Patrick Dorgu from Lecce in the January transfer window, Manchester United might be looking to sign more left-sided defenders this summer. Dorgu became the second signing of the Ruben Amorim era on Sunday, February 2nd, and signed a 5.5-year deal at Old Trafford. The 20-year-old made his debut during last Friday's 2-1 win over Leicester City. He is expected to play a huge role for Amorim as he tries to turn the screw and improve the club's fortunes. While Dorgu is anticipated to strengthen Amorim's squad, he may not be only left-back United target. With Tyrell Malacia and Luke Shaw's long-term future uncertain and Lisandro Martinez out for the foreseeable future, United could dip into the market in the summer to add another player in that position. Malacia is on loan at PSV Eindhoven, but the Eredivisie side have an option to buy, meaning that he might not return to United. Shaw has started a game for United since February 2024, and it's understood the club are unsure whether to risk having another injury-prone season from the England international. Martinez, who has often been used on the left side of the back three, tore his anterior cruciate ligament against Crystal Palace earlier this month and is set to miss most of 2025. The Argentine has undergone surgery to fix the issue, though it's set to keep him out for a number of months. With Diogo Dalot, a natural right-back, having to be used at left-wing back, Amorim is short of realistic options on that side, and that is going to take signing a new one a priority. A left-back, alongside a proven center forward, does feel like United's prime concern to address in the summer window. But who might United target? Well, according to Fishages, United are plotting an ambitious plan to sign Barcelona talent Alejandro Balde. The 21-year-old has been a mainstay in Hansi Flick's team this season, having started 27 matches across all competitions, contributing with 1 goal and 6 assists. Considering his attacking prowess and ability to keep the width on that left-hand side, Balde would be the perfect wingback for Amorim's 3-4-2-1 system. Dribbling, passing, and concentration are among his biggest strengths, though Balde's tackling is considered as his biggest weakness. While that could be a concern, Amorim doesn't require his wingbacks to do much defending. He is much more focused on what they can do in an offensive position, and therefore that does suit Balde. His 90.4% pass success rate and 1.7 completed dribbles per match is impressive. A move for Balde might be difficult to firm up as he is an integral part of Barcelona's setup, but he is expected to receive offers and could be sold with the Spanish club's financial situation still dire. He has a contract to run until summer 2028 and might be tempted to leave Barca for more long-term security.